Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be going into all the details of all the infotainment system and the settings within Curvv. This video is going to be useful for all the Tata Curvv users regardless of the variant, because I'm going to go into each of the features that are there and also explain how do we change those settings or update or turn on or off any of them. This is going to be a very detailed video, so if you have any specific questions, I have broken down the video into sections. Feel free to skip to the section which is most useful to you. Also, if you have any other question outside of this which I have not answered already, please feel free to leave that in the comment below, and I will try to get back to you as soon as possible with a solution that works. I hope you enjoyed this tech deep dive of all the features of Tata Curvv. Okay, so let's start with the screen here. Now, by default, this is the home screen. Now, what you can see is on the top is the aircon speed, the volume control, the notifications if you have got any, the home button, which is just to bring back to the same screen, the search, which is going to search within the phone and all the details that you have, and a back button, which is not going to do anything when you are here. On the left, it shows the current time and the date. On the right, it shows the temperature at which it is set to. The AQI. Okay, so now in this home screen, you can set it up to, simply a blank clock. That is the first default. Once you swipe on it, you can customize this. The way I have set it up is, this is Android Auto. There's the music related to Android Auto. Here are the aircon controls. I can go into the details. This is just the connection to the phone, not Android Auto. The mood light, Arcade.EV, JBL sounds, and the AQI. I can add more. If I click on this, I have the options to choose from these or remove these. So for now, I'll go back. Now, this is the preset that I'm using. Once we click on this brings up a complete list of menu. Now, starting on the top, this is Android Auto. So since I've already connected to it, it comes up like this. I can go to the home. Once I open Android, I can basically switch my view to get to the apps. Here are all the apps that I've installed, and one thing that I noticed late is, so here is the map view. Now, if I want to make it a big screen, I just need to click on the map view once so that the big screen comes up, and click on it again for it to go away. I usually prefer this view because I can see the music that is playing, have the controls over there, and also see the navigation. Now, coming back, so here is how you get to the home screen. These are the apps that you can install from your phone. I chose to use YouTube Music for my music. Now, coming back here, second option is for Apple CarPlay. For the users who have Apple phones, it would connect the same way. Amazon Alexa is for the voice commands. So you can try all the different things which will interact with the car's infotainment. And here are some more options for what are the different skills within that you can explore. This is only going to tell you that how do I use this. It's not really to use it from here. Now, coming back out, next one is the AQI. So this one is a pretty interesting one. I have tested it out and it works pretty great. Whenever I have opened the external airflow, it goes higher than the minimum. Now, coming back here, so Arcade.EV is something interesting. It would work only when you have connected your screen to the Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi should be a hotspot from your mobile device or a home one. The apps I have downloaded are basically these JioSaavn, some web app, Amazon, Disney, YouTube. All of these work fine. I'll show that in the demo quickly. Next one is the climate. Now here you get to choose all the options that you have regarding the air control. With the controls, the speed, the temperature, the AQI, if you use this plus and minus to do that, or also there is a control at the bottom of the screen. So right now the temperature is little too much. I'll change it to 25. Now here are the rear and the front defoggers. If you turn it on, it will basically go to defrost them. Or this one is for turning on the express cooling. Now coming back here, next one is the EV settings. So within this, first one is the discharge mode, where you can set if you're trying to do V2V charging of any kind of device, you can simply change it here and set it to the limit that you want to discharge, so that you don't end up reducing all your battery. The next one is for the EV settings. You can only change if the startup lamp, which is like once you unlock, will it turn on the lights or not, and for how long will it turn on. Coming out. So next one is the image viewer. It only works when you have a USB device connected to it. Next one is the JBL Music. So here you get a bunch of presets, and then you can also, mark them as favorites. You also get to change the settings. So within each, you can simply change how it works. And also it has the balancer, which is you can decide where if let's say it's only the driver who is sitting, all the music will come here, or maybe I can move it to this so that all the music is focused at me. And let's say I have got kids sleeping in the back, or sleeping in the back, I can set to this. There is also a mode for that. Reset simply brings it back to the same one. Now in this one, these are all great, but one of the ones that I really love is the kids sleeping in back. What it does is basically reduces the volume of the rear speakers and puts everything back in the front. Now coming to the media, again, this is something that would work with the other devices. With Android Auto, I can connect to that. And here if I have any media apps, only then it is going to work. I'll come back to homes, go to this. Now coming next, mood light. So mood light is something interesting. You get to pick which lights to turn on or off. So it's basically showing you that, okay, like here you can see as soon as I turn it off versus on, you can see the difference. On the right are basically the modes, the different kinds of color settings that you can pick, or you can choose one color out of the overall range. This one is pretty cool. When you turn this on, it changes the color of the car based on the mode it is. So right now it is in city. If I change it to economy,
activated.
If I change to economy, it turns into green, and then
boat drive mode activated.
If I turn into sports, it becomes red. But okay, I'll come back to the economy drive mode. And
city drive mode activated.
The last option that you have is the sync with music option. That is when the lights go up and down based on the beats of the music that you are playing in the vehicle. Now, next one is the phone. When it comes to phone, I've already connected to Android Auto, so it's just jumping into the phone. Then quick settings. This is something that you can again customize, which are the things that you want to quickly see. These are also the options that you see outside. So I'll go into the details of them once I go through that. The next one is the radio. This is simply just the radio turning on. I'll not turn it on. Okay, the most detailed one, settings. This is the one where a lot of people have questions on how to use this, where to find some of the settings and so on. So audio will have the other view that we saw, that was the JBL speaker mode. This one is the different settings within the car. So the media volume, you can always change it through the other knobs as well. The phone volume, that, let's say if you're talking on the phone, how should the voice come there? The ringtone volume, again, if somebody is calling you, how should that work? The system voice volume, so all the commands and the information that is shared through that. For the notifications, again, you can change the setting here. The touch beep, I have reduced that. Then speed dependent volume is something interesting that I will turn it on. So basically, once I go at a higher speed, it will, increase the volume based on the speed. This is also to, cut down any of the external noise that is coming in. This is startup audio is the default at which it will start once the car is started. A voice alert is basically take out the key fob, the doors are unlocked, lights are off, all such kind of a thing would be on this one. And here is a driving assistance as to like while I'm driving and AVAS is on, what are the all the volume for that. Equalizer is the same thing, which you can also control through the JBL modes, and you can play around with that to see what fits you the best. Balance and filter is the same as what we saw earlier. Next one is the AVAS, and here are all the options that you can do that. Let's see if I can play. I'm not sure if you can hear that, so you can change it through here. And AVAS is mainly used for since the EVs are so silent and the pedestrians and any other two-wheelers nearby wouldn't hear the vehicle moving. So it basically turns on some music so that up to 20 kilometers per hour, people nearby can, hear that, okay, there is something coming. It won't really, they would have to look at the car to see what it is. Connectivity. So this is from where you can change the settings. By default, the password should be on to connect to your Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. Wi-Fi is when you are in a Wi-Fi covered area, or you're using your phone's Bluetooth or tethering for sharing your network, and that's when you can connect through this. And this is how the IRA app would work. Next one, driver assistance, which is one of the key things. Now I want to go into details of each of them here. So on the left is the vehicle, and now first one you see is the forward collision warning system. Now I have set the sensitivity to low. The forward collision warning system is the system which detects any vehicle in front of you and tries to either notify you or act on it based on the settings you have. First one here being the collision warning only, which will only just notify you that there is some kind of a vehicle in front of you. The next one is when the autonomous energy braking actually kicks in, and this happens when there is a car in front of you and you are not braking. The car will apply the brakes for you. When it does, the brake is very jerk, like very sudden, and the blinkers turn on and it's quite a stop. Now this is the sensitivity. Now you have three options: low, medium, high. What they do is basically if you set to high, it will try to stop at the earliest possible. Similarly, for low, it will try to wait until the end to apply the brakes. I have not tested it, but maybe when you set it to high, it will apply brakes sooner, but maybe it won't be so harsh. At low, it waits till it goes closer and then applies harsh brakes so that collision is avoided. Next is the traffic sign recognition. So while we are on the road, there are so many different signs for stop and other things. And basically, when you turn it on, it is going to detect one of those. Now, over speed limiting, there is an option to turn off the warning, only visuals and audio. So this is going to check the speed limit of the road, which is denoted there, and the current vehicle speed limit to see if we are overspeeding or not. There is also an option to set the limit. So we can say, if we set it to 0, and let's say the speed limit on the road is 80, it will start beeping as soon as, or it will start showing the warning as soon as you exceed the speed a little bit. But I set it to +10, which means if I go up to 90, it will not do anything, but post 90 is when it will start giving me the warning. Okay, next one is the adaptive steering assist. Again, something super handy. Now, what it does is it tries to keep you within the lane, and this needs to be turned on so that lane keep assist actually works. High beam assist is when you set your headlights to the auto in your car and you have pushed it for the high beam. Then it will turn on the high beam if it sees no vehicle coming from the opposite side using the trying to direct the headlights, or any vehicle in front of us trying to direct using the tail lights, so that it doesn't really blind anyone with the lights. And when it is pitch dark, or when there are no vehicles in front coming or going in front of you, that is when it will turn on the high beam. Now, next one is the lane keep assist. Now, this is again a part of the ADAS feature list. What it does is tries to maintain you in the lane. Now, that will maintain you in the lane only if it is lane departure warning as well as lane keep assist. This is when it will try to bring your vehicle back into the center of the lane. If it is only the warning, it will only denote you that you are leaving the lane without indicators, but will not bring it back to you, the lane. This feature works when you are going in a road where the lanes are pretty much defined. But if you turn on the indicators, it will allow you to move, and then for that brief moment until you get back into a lane, this is deactivated. So it is not going to change the lane for you. It is only going to keep you in the lane. So do not expect that if you give the indicator, it is going to move on its own. When you give the indicator, it is going to stop to push you to keep the vehicle in the lane, but it is not going to do anything else. Okay, coming back, again, a great feature, rear cross traffic alert. So while we are reversing the vehicle, and let's say like I'm in a parking lot right now, and right in front of me or right behind me is the passage from where the vehicles move. I may not have the visibility of the left and right where the vehicles are moving, but this is going to detect that using the radars and will notify with red blinkers that stop, there is a vehicle there. This will also enable the emergency braking. So if I ignore this and I keep moving back and there is a vehicle which is approaching, it is going to apply brakes to stop me from hitting the vehicle. The next one is the door open alert. So this one would basically indicate if, let's say, you're trying to open the door and there is a vehicle approaching from behind or in front, it is going to detect that to say that you have a vehicle coming up, do not open the door. It is not going to stop you from opening the door. It is only going to say that there is a vehicle approaching, open with caution. Next one is the blind spot detection and lane change alert. Again, so there are indicators on the mirror which will, blink once there is a vehicle in the blind spot. It will work regardless if you have given the indicator or not. And if you give the indicator and there is a vehicle there, it will start, beeping with the sound. And the lane change alert is the same. When you are trying to change the lane without giving the indicators, it is going to, denote you that it is doing that. Rear collision warning is again useful because it basically tries to detect the speed of the vehicle approaching from rear, and it will basically turn on the blinkers if it thinks that you have stopped and the vehicle behind you is not really stopping or is approaching very close. It will turn on the blinkers. The next one is the park assist. Again, so this is only park assist. This is not autonomous parking or self parking. So you have to park it, just that it will assist you in parking. So there are certain tones. I don't think it is going to play here, but tone 2 seems to be the most mellow one. I have set the volume to the lowest because I do not want it to be interfering in my overall daily thing. Park assist delay, you can set it to delay, like basically once you hit reverse gear, it can wait for a few seconds to kick in, but I have set it to 0. The next one is the front parking assist. This is going to basically detect the distance between your car and the object in front of you and basically give you indicator that how far or close you are to the vehicle. And the low speed activation is while you are driving and let's say you drop below 10 kilometers per hour, this will bring up the 360-degree camera, and basically, again, all the sensors will start working to, help you in navigating through the low speed and usually congested areas. The next one is a blind spot mirror. So this is basically when you give the indicator, do you want it to show here or not? I'll simply do this to show you that it shows you that on which side what is there. And I have the option to change it from infotainment display to the cluster display. Infotainment system will bring up in the center screen and it is huge in terms of the size. But when you look at the center, the inside the cluster, I'll show you that, but that's pretty small and the quality doesn't feel so great. Okay, so this is all about the driver assistance. I think some of these will be covering outside. System. So this is basically all the time settings, date settings within this which you can update and change. Vehicle. So what you can do here is simply the approach light. For how long do you want to turn it on, and DRS, do you want to turn it on or off? Right now, since I'm in a closed area, it is turned off because the headlights are on. If I manually switch off the headlights, I've manually switched off the headlights. Now it has given me the options to do this, turn on or off the DRLs. DRLs are only going to turn on the end lights. It is not the center whole thing which will turn on. If you really want to turn on the whole thing, even the daylight, you will have to keep the headlight knob to on always, so that it basically brings up that. The next one is the tailgate gesture. So on the left, what you see is the height of the tailgate where it opens. So if I set it to the lowest, it is going to open the least possible thing. It can open up, and you can keep it max. Since I do not really have a height constraints where I park, I've kept it to the highest. And also, like for the shorter people in height, there is another option to either use the gesture control, the key fob, or even there is use the same button as what you would click to open the boot. It will close the boot. Otherwise, the boot opening one is on the top there. Now you have to turn on all the things here. It works with that. Now trailer gesture access is basically by kicking your foot under that. Key fob access is by clicking on that. And the tailgate buzzer is if you wanted to make the buzz while opening and closing the tailgate. For side mirror, I'll turn it to auto so that every time I lock my car, it is going to do that. I think it is right now turned on, that's why it is not changing, but it works for me as of now. What else? Vehicle be covered, right? So coming back out, now next one is share my location. This, if you have turned on the IRA app, then you can share your location to your contacts there. Sound demo is basically the demo sound here. Now surround sound view. This is one of the cool ones. Now in this one, you have the option. This is the default one that it opens. If I click on this, it is going to show me the top view in the full screen. If I again click on this is again showing me the overall view. If I click on the left or the right or the rear, it is going to show me those. If I click on 3D, it is going to give me the 3D image. Now, okay, if you see here, it is showing me the guidelines. It will change based on my steering direction, and it is showing me the distance from the rear car because I'm at a safe distance. It is showing green. If I go closer, it will turn yellow. Further close, it will turn red. And here I can keep on changing the view that I want. So you can simply change as to which angle do you want the camera to work at. Here are the next options. It is going to only show you the front, the left and right. So it is only showing me these parts, which is here. Same thing with the rear. It is showing me here. It is kind of helpful when you are trying to, drive around or park in a tight spot. From this setting, you can turn or off each of the settings that we saw right now. So let me come back to the setting. Parking guides, that is the lines that it shows. Parking guide in rear view, which is like when you turn to the rear, will it show or not? In the front, again, the same thing. Assist volume, I have set to 0. You have the option to set the normal view or the top view. Top view will give you the top view to, like this. And the normal view will, let me turn this on to the normal view. So normal view will give you the view of the front, which is the front here. Coming back to the settings, I will set this to the top view because this is what I find helpful. For the rear, I use the normal view, which is like any other car, and top view, when let me show you the top view. So for the rear, this is the normal view. And for the rear, if I go to the top view, it is going to show me like this. So it is basically giving me exact distance. Usually what I try to do is I use this black boundary as the marker and not really the car because I want to keep that space there. Now coming back here, I'll again reset it to what I usually do, which is the normal view. Coming out. Okay, so now we covered this. Tata Assist, well, hopefully you do not need this swipe to cancel. I do not need this right now. But if you ever are stuck in any place where you are not able to, operate the vehicle, it is not acting the way it should, then this is where it can help you. Again, video player is for the USB connected devices. Voice assistant, so here basically you can turn on and you can, say whatever you want to say here. What 3 words? Again, another setting which you can set from here. Basically, it is going to take you to the defined places which you have already done. Okay, coming back out. So I think this is it. Now, going to cover all the controls around the steering wheel and the driver console. Basically, let me start with the buttons here. Here is the option to toggle between all the 3 options here. This one is for the active cruise control. Here are the ones to set up the speed. For that, it's for the same. This one is for the distance between the 2 vehicles in front of you. This one is for the lane keep assist. You can turn it on or off. This button here is basically to toggle between the options here. Now let's come to the settings. So basically to get into the settings, you click on OK. Starting with the dial view, you have the option for a 2 dial view, which will look something like this. Or you have the single dial view, which I had set it to, and the digital view where it will mimic the 2 dial view, but just it will be digital, no analog there. Now in this particular view, you also have the option to choose what you want in the secondary area. You can start with the distance to empty, or you can change it to the histogram, which I've set it to. The energy flow, basically to show how the energy is flowing through the car. The compass, just to show you the directions. ADAS, where it is turned on, it is going to show you the distance. And then this will turn on to reduce the distance between me and the vehicle in front. I'll go back out. Now, in the favorite menu, you get to choose basically that which are the ones that you want to see. I had disabled some because I don't really use them very frequently. But just to show here, I'll quickly set them all. Now, to toggle between the menus, you have to use the menu option here. And First one being the trip info. It has trip A, trip B, and the complete range. So you can simply toggle up and down. To reset the trip, you have to press and hold OK. It will ask you for resetting it, and I clicked yes by mistake. The next one is the adaptive cruise control. Here it is showing it on standby because I have not turned it on, and the lines are showing the distance between me and the vehicle in front of me. The next one here is the driver attention, which is not really camera driven. It will basically detect how you're driving and your handling of the steering wheel. Based on that, it will try to determine if you need to take a break. Here is a TPMS. You also have the option to see if any service is due for that. Energy flow. While driving, it shows you if you're consuming energy or putting it back in. Also the option for histogram, which I have already set on the right hand side. Media, while you're playing anything, it shows you the media options here. Navigation, if you turn it on, it will show you the navigation. You need to be connected to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto for this. I will connect that and show you shortly. The other option in this is the bus, just to show you the direction in which you are. Notifications shows you anything that the car has identified in terms of any kind of issues or any update alerts or so on. Energy info, while you're charging, it will show you if you're using a AC slow charger or a DC fast charger, how long will it take to reach to the full or the limit that you're set. Horn is basically here. You can simply press it and down both. On the left, what you have is, let's say, the call accept button, which will accept the call if you're getting any calls. This will help you in toggling between the media options. So when I press on this, it changes the source of the audio. This button here works as a mute button. The up and down, if you pull it up or down, it is going to change the volume of the audio. This here is going to only change the media that you are playing. This is not a button, it only goes up and down. This one is to reject the call if you're getting a call and if you're rejected. And this one is to activate Tata Assist.